Hey everybody, it is Jordy from Seven Eagle Group. I just wanted to thank you so much for joining me today on this live. I am super excited to share some information with you. This presentation is strictly for veterans and service members. That's who it's geared to. I'm going to go through the presentation, and then at the end, if you want me to answer any questions, just please add them to the chat. And if you're watching this video, a recorded version of it, please just answer or please leave any questions for me, and I'll make sure to get through to everyone. All right. So one of the biggest problems that I'm sorry, one sec. I have one introduction about us first, and then I'll jump into it. But let me tell you a little bit about our company. It's Seven Eagle Group. We've been around for 8 years now, and we have about 25 people on our team. And our mission is to help connect veterans and service members to great positions to help them with their careers. We work with companies like Xerox and Toyota and General Dynamics, all the way down to small mom and pop businesses. If a company wants to hire military talent, we want to make that happen for them. We have a team that's incredibly passionate about the work that we do. And this really is my dream job. I absolutely love getting after it every day and making these connections. All right. So the most common problem that we see, and we worked with thousands of candidates over the years, is that the candidate who doesn't really know what they want to do and they reach out to us as a recruiter or hiring manager really has a tough time. They struggle. If you can't answer that question, in an interview type setting, like, hey, what's your dream job? If you lack that passion, that energy, the confidence, it's really hard to get hired. That's just a common problem across the board. Saying stuff to a hiring manager like, I'll do anything. What do you have open? I just want to get my foot in the door. It just shows that you haven't really thought about your career. And the second that something better comes along, that you're going to jump ship. It's because you're not connected to that career. So never forget this. Listen, hiring managers desperately want you guys. Military talent is some of the best in the world. And you have to believe that. You got to go into this with that confidence that you have that skill, the skills, the character, the grit. And the reality is most civilians lack those skills. I'm a civilian. I did not serve. My dad did in World War II, and this has been my mission to help you guys. And I clearly see the difference between the military talent and the civilian talent. And go into your job search knowing that you are extremely coachable. You can learn stuff quickly. You're mission focused. You never give up. And that you are this model employee that hiring managers want, the person who's going to lead by example and just absolutely help their companies grow. And that's who they want. And you got to believe that as you set out to decide what it is you want to do. So the first task you have is you got to set this career path for yourself as soon as possible. Don't wait till you ETS. I feel by then it's too late. The sooner you can get after this, the better. And if you're going for a SkillBridge opportunity, know that that is likely going to lead to a W-2 employment. All right. So if you can select correctly now, you will save years on dead-end jobs that and it'll get your career on the fast track. And once you find that focus, you have to make sure that that passion, that excitement comes through in everything, all of your communications with recruiters and with the hiring managers. Okay, so now the question is, all right, how do you figure out what you want to do? And it's a question, unfortunately, most people do not ask themselves, and we should, and we don't. But remember, what you select now, it's not going to define your career. So don't stress over it, right? Today, the average person is changing careers 5 times, 5 different careers, and 12 jobs over that 32-year average lifetime, career lifetime. So it's okay. You just need something to get you started, get you out of the blocks. And if you can get yourself closer to that ideal career for you, it's even better. And most people wait until after their first job when they start asking themselves these questions. They're like, oh, do I really want to be doing this? And like I said, I feel that just, it slows down your progress. So the sooner you can decide what it is, the better. All right. And this should be a really exciting and fun exercise for you because it's like a clean slate. You get to choose. So the dangers of picking the wrong path, which really happens to, I feel, majority of the people, is they're not happy with they don't have that career satisfaction. They don't get the thrill out of working, and you should. There's nothing sadder to me than when somebody says, "I can't wait for Friday for the weekend." For me, I love what I do. So every day is like a weekend. I love it. And you want that same excitement. As kids, we're always asked when we're little, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? But then all of a sudden, for some reason, that changes when we're adults to how are you going to make a living at that? Are you crazy? And I just feel that's not the way to go. All right. And don't make the mistake, I feel, of looking at your resume just because something you've done in the past and saying, oh, I was a mechanic working on, tanks, that you got to go work at Jiffy Lube. And there's nothing wrong with that career, but just know that you have other options. You have other things that you can explore. Your resume, your past does not define who you have to be in the future, because often what you're qualified to do now is not going to be what you want to bring you that career satisfaction in this, in this second act as you get out. And most importantly, it's going to be really hard to convey that passion and that excitement in the interview setting. All right. And it's not healthy too. If you're miserable at work, I guarantee you problems are going to snowball. It makes you miserable. It makes your spouse or partners miserable. It makes your kids miserable. You deserve it to have this satisfaction in your life. All right. So I talked about that a little. You're not limited to your MOS. Whatever you did in the military is just the foundation. You can grow off of that, but don't feel like that's the only thing you can do. You're so much more valuable to the corporate America. There are thousands of jobs you can have, thousands. It's across the board, right? You name it, and I'll show you somebody who's pretty much making a living in that area, right? So just don't let the money drive your decision right now, because the money will follow if you're good at it. And don't think about it in terms of a job. That's the problem. It's got to be a career. Avoid doing what almost everyone does, which is they're going to job boards like Indeed or Monster or ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, and they're seeing who's advertising. And then they're saying, oh, I'll do that job. Oh, I can do that. Oh, that one looks interesting. Don't do it that way. Do it the other way. First, decide what you want to do, and then figure out who's hiring for that position. All right. Focus on what you love. What skills do you want to use in your career? Where can you be a subject matter expert? That's crucial, because you want to put yourself in a chance for success, where something that excites you, drives you, and where you can then be one of the best in your field. And you have to feel like you can make a difference in that career, where you're excited to get out of bed every morning. And this is a common reality, is hiring managers will sacrifice the skills on a resume for somebody who has the passion and the drive. I see it all the time. They don't want to hire somebody who's super skilled just because they're looking for the job, but if that person does not have that excitement for that career. All right, so this is a good way, I feel, to identify what it is you want to do. What is that dream job for you? I call it the alarm clock test. So what would you do every day for work? That alarm clock goes off 6 a.m., 5 a.m., you jump out of bed, and you can't wait to get that job done. You can't wait to get to work. And you love the work, the mission, you feel like you're making a difference. But here's the kicker. You have all the money in the world. You don't need the money. You're going to go to that job for free. And what is the answer to that for you? It's different for everybody. All right. And I would love to see every one of you just ask yourself these questions. Just think about that. Close your eyes and think about, say, gosh, if I didn't have to work for money, what would I do every day? And whatever the answer is for you, I truly feel that's where you should focus, because you can make money at it. Trust me, you can make money at anything. People prove that every day. All right. Once you identify that job now, that career, and again, it could change, but have it for now. Once you identify it, now you got to start, action. You start getting down that path. First thing is the LinkedIn profile. This is by far the best tool that you have available to you. So get a free premium. They give LinkedIn gives a premium account for a year to any military. Get it. It's awesome. All right. And then learn how. I have a whole video on it, but I'll do another live on this later on how to do how to leverage LinkedIn, because it's so powerful. But you want to have a page where you have a nice smiling headshot of yourself in civilian gear. I don't recommend military gear, because you want to paint the picture for the most likely civilian employer that you're transitioning. All right. I would do a nice banner. Take advantage of that prime real estate. Don't use the default banner. Use a banner that's related to what you want to do. Okay. Show a complete resume. Remember, there's nobody, I've yet to meet a hiring manager in 8 years that hasn't checked out the candidate's LinkedIn page before interviewing or making an offer. All right. So you got to make your thing. You got to make your page look great. It's real easy. Complete resume. Be proud of your military background. A lot of people hide it. I don't recommend that. I feel it's one of the things that make you guys the most special is your military background. So be proud of that and demonstrate that. Get some references, even if it's from colleagues, that's fine, or past bosses. And then the next step is you got to connect, right? There's nothing more discouraging than going to someone's LinkedIn page and you see 7 connections or something like that, because they're not active. You want to get those into the hundreds. It's very easy to do, but don't just put random people in there. I want to see you connect. This is a business platform. This isn't Facebook, right? So you want to connect with industry professionals, right? So if you decide you want to go down the cybersecurity path, you want to start meeting other folks who work in cybersecurity, civilians and veterans. All right. That's crucial. The more people in your network, the better, but you got to build these relationships with them, which will teach you. Write the custom message for everyone. Do not send bulk messages when you're connecting on LinkedIn. LinkedIn will have a default one in there. Don't ever use that. Write a custom one. Personalize it, at least two instances in that message you're going to write. You can put the person's name. You can put their branch if you're writing to another military vet. And then something unique about it. You want them to feel like you're not sending out 50 of these at a time. You want them, it's a one-on-one conversation. Join then industry related groups and engage with these posts. Be a professional networker. All right, engage. There are so many great sites, like Keith Heinrich's, the Veterans and SkillBridge network group. I think there are like 20,000 people on that group, Get on there, engage, and talk to people. You never know who's going to see what you're writing. But you got to be a professional networker. You got to learn how to do this. Most people don't know the first thing about how to network. And I think it really hurts them. They think networking is, hey, here's my resume. Are you guys hiring? That's not networking. You're asking somebody for a favor. Help other people. I guarantee I love, like today I was just on the SkillBridge network on Facebook. And I love reading people's posts where they're giving advice to other service members. I think that's awesome. And that's what you want to do. Build your brand. Everything is about building your reputation online with your colleagues, and then with hiring manager and recruiters who are seeing that stuff. Okay. But you got to add value to it. And everybody has some form of value to add. Just determine what yours is. Okay. All right. All right. This I feel is your secret weapon. I call it informational interview. Goes by other names too, but this will give you the huge competitive edge. All right. You find prospects on LinkedIn. You can do that with your connections. Use their advanced search feature to do it. But I want you to focus on manager level professionals in your preferred industry. All right, you can start with veterans who are in your branch. They'll give you this warm welcome. You can reach out if you're in the Marine Corps and you reach out to a Marine Corps veteran anywhere in the world. I guarantee you 90% chance you're going to get a response from that person just because of the show of respect for one another. All right, you're going to ask for advice. Don't ever ask for a job on this initial connection. That's what 9 out of 10 people do. Their first networking or interaction is, hey, you guys hiring? Hey, what do you have for me? Hey, you guys have any openings I can apply to? Hey, I'm getting out. And don't do that. Go slow. Everyone loves to give advice. Everyone loves to feel like they want to help, and not, I shouldn't, people love to share. Just the same reason I'm on here today. I'm not selling anything. I'm not trying to convince you to do anything. I just want to share experiences because we want to see you guys do well in your career. Whether you work with 7 Eagle Group or not, doesn't matter to us. We want to see you. We want to see you advance. And other people love to do that. You just got to ask. Don't be shy. This is not the time to be bashful. Reach out to people. You never know who is going to help you, but you got to be slow. You got to be genuine, right? Ask about them when you meet with people on an informational interview. You want to try to do it on Zoom like this so you can develop a relationship and let them see you. You could see them. Try not to do it via email or texting. You want to, if you can meet with somebody, even better. But it is gold. If you can learn to get good at these, every week, set a goal. I'm going to do 1 informational interview a week. And you watch. Over the last 32 years of my professional life, I've been recommending to job seekers to do these informational interviews. And I have yet to see one of the people who takes this advice fail to get a job. Every one of them gets a job from it. Every one. It doesn't fail. Because you got to remember, every company out there, their biggest challenge is talent. It's the biggest challenge, hands away. If you want to grow your business, you need good people to help you do that. And you're probably not going to see them everybody advertising positions, but I guarantee you everyone has a position because there's somebody on their team who's not performing who they'd like to replace, or there's somebody who's maybe going on maternity leave, or somebody who just gave their notice, or they're getting a new account, and you never know where that opportunity for you is going to come. And if you get out there in an informational type setting, take all the risk off of the person. Once you hand them your resume and say, do you have a job? You put all the risk on it, and it's sort of like they're going to run to the other side of the street when they see you. You don't want that. You want them to feel like they're taking you under their wing. And you ask them about their career. You ask them about what was their experience like transitioning. What advice would they have for somebody like you just starting out? And you listen and you do that. You do that with 10 people. And I guarantee you, your vision for what you want for your career is going to be different than what it is right now or when you start out. Because these are people doing the stuff you want to do, supposedly, and they're going to tell you the pros and the cons of it. And you got to have that relationship where they're going to be honest with you, not treat you like, oh, yeah, wow, thanks for your resume. Well, if somebody says to you in the informational interview, hey, where's your resume? Say, listen, that wasn't my purpose. I wanted this to be more informational. And, there'll be a time down the line, trust me, when they're going to say to you, oh my gosh, hey, remember that person I met 3 months ago who did the informational interview with me? Yeah, let's reach out to her. I loved her. That's going to happen. That's what happens. All right. Okay, you got to increase your marketability. Like I said earlier, you want to become the subject matter expert. So once you determine what that target is for you, I want you to learn everything you can about that industry. This is so easy. Anyone could do this. This requires zero skill. Go watch YouTube videos. YouTube is a goldmine. There is so much content on there in every conceivable area. Type in how to fill in the blank, and you could become really skilled at anything. I love this site, Audible. They have thousands of business books. And again, I listen to them when I work out or take the dogs for a walk or in my car. And just 1 book a week, that's 50 books a year. If you could do that, read 52 books a year, you will be at the top 5% of your profession. Because most people don't do that in their entire career. And to me, it's so much easier on audio when you don't have to sit and read. You can do it while you're doing other stuff, and you will be so knowledgeable. You have so much confidence going in, even if you lack the civilian experience when you're in that interview setting for that career you want. You're going to know so much about it because you did all this research on your own before. You watched YouTube videos, you listen to audiobooks, free online classes. You can go to Harvard and take an online class for free, I believe. All these schools, there's so much info out there available to you. And most people don't pay attention to it. Get industry certifications, network every opportunity you can. That's how 98% of all positions are filled by networking. 98. Only 2% are filled on a national average of people going to a site like Indeed or LinkedIn and applying to a job. All right. Because you got to remember, we're on the receiving end of those applications because that's what we do on behalf of our clients. We evaluate and help them hire. We might get 500 applicants for one position, one. So we have 499 people getting rejected and hopefully one getting hired. A much better way for this hiring process from the other end is for somebody to say, oh my gosh, you got to talk to Danny. This guy is a superstar. He can fill that position. Because now from a recruiting or hiring manager standpoint, the time I had to invest in hiring that person went from maybe 100 hours down to 1 hour. Okay. If you're active duty, SkillBridge is such an amazing program. So please, if you can take advantage of it, do it. Search for the closest related opportunity you can find in your area. All right, because it is super easy to get hired as a W-2 employee after SkillBridge. And then from there, if you get into the company, maybe it's not your ideal one, but it's in the industry or a company you want, then you can down the line hopefully transfer to another department. Again, easier to do that when you get your foot in the door. The companies love SkillBridge so much because they can test drive a candidate for 6 months. They don't have the financial obligation of paying the salary and the benefits. So it's easier to get in the door as a SkillBridge than it will be as a W-2. And then it's easier once you're in, it's very hard you're not going to get booted out unless you screw up. So you go in, you kick ass, you do a great job, you work harder than anybody else. You're the first in, the last to leave, and you watch how fast you get hired as a W-2 employee. We see it all the time. We just saw it yesterday with one of our candidates got hired. He did his SkillBridge for 1 month at a cyber company. He had to leave early because he couldn't do the full 6 months. And the client said, oh my gosh, how do we get him on? It works. It's so effective. So please try to take advantage of it if you can. If you can't though, because you got to remember, there's so few opportunities compared to how many service members want those opportunities. So a lot of people are getting shut out from it, and it friggin' breaks my heart that people can't do these opportunities. We're working with all the other service providers. If any of them are watching this and need access to candidates, let us know, because we will be more than happy to share anybody with you, because we want to see you guys connect to these positions. But if you can't, if your window closes, if you get rejected, whatever the reason, your command won't allow it, don't sweat. I'll help you through that process. There are so many still other options, just that prior slide I was showing you, where you can do stuff on your own to have the same effect and get you that job when you get out. Ask for help. Get yourself a mentor or two. There are great organizations like Veteratti. Hire Our Heroes, I believe, does the mentorship as well, or find your own. It is so easy to do this. Veterans and civilians are eager to help you achieve your goals. You just have to ask, and I am always available to talk. So schedule a time with me. That's my calendar right there. And I would love to help you. 7 days a week, just reach out to me. I never turn anyone down, because I am super passionate about this, as well as everybody else on our team would drop anything to help you guys. So don't ever be bashful about that. One other thing regarding the finding your own mentor. There's a group on LinkedIn. I believe it's called the Veterans Mentor Network. It has like 60,000 veterans in there. And I remember the other day I was on and I read, a guy's post, and he wrote a really nice thing saying, gosh, if anyone wouldn't mind helping me, I want to, or talking with me for a few minutes, I want to go in this field. He had 280 people respond to him. 280 in like 5 minutes saying, I'm here for you, call me. All right. So get somebody who you connect with, who you click with, and you will find that person will really help you through this process, because sometimes it's really tough to switch careers like this, and it's scary, and you feel like you're on an island by yourself, and you shouldn't, because there are some really good people out there in this community who want to help you, and I know will drop anything they're doing to help you. So you just have to ask. Don't be shy about that. All right, that's all. I really want to do more of these seminars because or these lives, because I absolutely love this stuff. I really enjoy sharing my experiences with you. And please know that I'm always here, and everyone at 7 Eagle Group is always here for you guys. So thank you very much. And let me see. All right, somebody asked, I'll just go through a few of these questions. Troy Hudson. Hey, Troy is a voiceover guy. He's one of the best in the world. He's a veteran too. So thank you, Troy, for jumping on. I appreciate it. He does a lot of our voiceovers for us. Dell asked, is there any cadre on here that can critique my LinkedIn? I will. Send it to me, Dell. Happy to do that. JK at 7 Eagle Group. I did I think a really good video on LinkedIn. I'm going to do it as a live, because teaching people how to promote on LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn is just incredible. So thank you. Thanks for jumping on, Robert. I appreciate it. And my son, Eli, yo. Thank you, Eli. All right. Well, thank you guys. When you watch on the recording, please leave a message, or you can reach out to me or schedule a time, and you can kick ass at this. Please go after something you love, and you're going to make it happen, and you're going to have an awesome life that's going to make you a lot of money and have a lot of responsibility, and that's the goal. So good luck, and thanks again.